Hi, everyone. I am Marie Stacks, the president of Boost Midwest, and I am joined here for our direct perspective with Jordan Smith, the VP of Sales and Marketing at iProv. Jordan and I met quite a few years back when I was the COO of a dental office, a dental practice out of Little Rock. And so excitedly, we've stayed in touch. We've been in a couple of different programs together and collaborated on a few things. And so I thought it might be nice to bring Jordan in for our stakeholders to kind of understand the value of what iProv does and how they use project management and data management and just operational best practices, because they're fantastic in that arena. So Jordan, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for all those kind words. That's awesome.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about iProv as well.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm the VP of Sales and Marketing. So I'm responsible for all things new business within the company and marketing. So, making sure that people know we're around whenever they need us. So that's kind of my number one job. And iProv as an organization, we always say, listen, the simplest way to kind of drill down to it is we help business leaders grow their business. And sometimes that just means some of the stuff like you're talking about, which is just coming in and consulting and figuring out kind of where the weak points are. But a lot of the times it has some sort of kind of marketing or outreach spin that we can not only help plan, but help kind of execute all the way from A to Z. So we're big believers in kind of being partners with an organization and not just being the guy that sells something and walks away. So that's kind of us in a nutshell.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I know you guys do so much with your Vista reports and working with your clients, like you said, as partners. And I think that's part of what you and I connect on so well. We've talked before about the Boost AIM solution, Analyze, Innovate, and Manage. How do you guys monitor maybe yours as well as your clients' business progress?
That's a great question. I think that's essential. And that's like you said, we've known each other for years, and we can talk kind of shop all day about this stuff because we're of the same vein. We're what you manage moves, Another way to say it is just whatever you look at and track, those are typically the things that move in one direction or another. So there's a lot of different ways that we track progress for our clients. And a lot of it starts at the start, which is what is progress for your business? What are those success metrics or key performance indicators, KPIs that you would mean a successful organization? Because let's look at it from the marketing perspective, right? Clicks, visits, impressions, all that stuff might be great to us, but it might not mean anything to a business owner that's saying, hey guys, I'm going to judge you on my bottom line, what my adjusted gross income is, That's my case. Well, all right, we need to be aligned on what progress actually looks like. If not, we're over here working, you're over here doing your thing. We might think we're doing great until we get that dreaded phone call or email one night,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's such a good point too. And I think you're spot on. We always ask, what are the KPIs that you recommend? And you spoke to the ones on marketing. And so I think you're absolutely right, though, that there are KPIs that I, as a business owner, may prefer to look at and want you to see so you understand where my perspective is coming from. So yeah, part of the direct perspective, right? So
absolutely. And that doesn't mean that we can't meet somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah.
That there's not some leading indicators that show us if we're heading in the right direction or not. You just have to have that alignment conversation on the front end.
That's such a good point too. And I think, when you're creating a dashboard for your organization to look at the whole health of your organization, people bring you guys in at iProv because you're marketing experts. You know what those KPIs need to be in that arena. They bring us in to look at project management and grants and operations. So I think you're spot on that collaborative dashboard of all of the different KPIs can be just as important as the single dashboard that I might look at every day.
Yeah.
So
we like to involve the stakeholders as much as possible, right? I mean, we always say as a business owner, if there's something that's not working in your business, bad news is it's probably your fault. Good news is no one has the ability to change it more than you. So typically, whether it's a a CEO or president of a company, or sometimes a CFO is involved, maybe not in the day to day, right? Because part of our job is taking that pressure off of them, right? And say, you work on the business, we'll help you make sure that, we'll work in it in addition to helping you kind of with that big picture planning. But from a marketing perspective, specifically, obviously, the people that are involved in marketing, we like to bring in, if there's an organization that's sales focused, that has kind of that outreach arm, making sure that they're involved in the process also, because a lot of the times they're going to be the ones that we're kind of handing the ball off to, so kind of from that perspective, we like those stakeholders in every conversation, and then the kind of the leadership team as a whole, maybe monthly or quarterly, or more involved in kind of a big picture 10,000 foot overview, in and out type of conversation.
Yeah. So you've got like kind of the tactical team coming together regularly, maybe on that weekly stand up, and then you've got the, strategic leadership level. Monthly. Yeah. That's smart. I like that.
Yeah. We always talk about, you get the business that you design, not the one you deserve, right? bringing in people, having those stakeholders in those big picture. And you mentioned VISTA, which is our process, stands for vision, strategy, tactics, and alignment. But having those those key stakeholders in, especially with the vision and the strategic part, they don't need to know all the tactical stuff. But if there's an issue or there's a hole in the business, let's look at how the business is designed, so that then maybe there's some shifts that we can make, even from a marketing perspective, to help fill in that gap.
Such a good point. So, okay, I like this question because I feel like it gets to, the personality of who we are. But do you have a daily motto or a daily activity that keeps you energized in what you're doing?
This is a great question too. That's because as business leaders, we have to bring that, it, right? You lead a team. And businesses bring you in to help lead their teams, So you got to come in and you got to be 100. It doesn't matter if you feel crappy, or, you got bad news right before that meeting, or the kid comes in every 5 minutes during a Zoom call. So I'm a big believer in just, kind of, you can control what you can control, right? Yeah. That's fine. If something's out of my reach, but just kind of that mantra of controlling what you can control. And you can't always control what happens to you, right? Yeah. The unexpected things that occur during your day. What you can control to a big extent is how you handle those things, So either from an emotional perspective or a planning strategic perspective, those are things that whether it's, stepping outside and taking a breath before your next call, or, sometimes just canceling a meeting, say, hey guys, I'm not there today. I'm sorry, but I've got time tomorrow. So that's a big one, and a cheesy one that if you were to ask my team, what I say is, especially on Monday, hey, this is the only Monday we got this week, guys. It's the only one we have. This is our last Monday this week. Let's go. Like that type of stuff. It might be cheesy and they might roll their eyes a little bit, but it gets a laugh out of everybody. And those kind of things do,
it releases those happy endorphins, right? Yeah. I mean, even if it's the cheesiest, most pun out there, it's like, at least you've lifted the mood in that millisecond.
Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love it. And, I actually did hear recently, with all of us being at home like we are, that they called it the two-handed approach, which is exactly what you talked about. On one hand, those are the things I can control. On the other, here are the things I can't. And that's the hand that I let go. Mm-hmm. And I thought that kind of visualization plays right into what you're talking about. It's amazing. It's definitely
I like that a lot. The two-handed.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. So you talked earlier about kind of stakeholder engagement. You've got the tactical team, you've got the leadership strategic team. We know the value of having proper stakeholder engagement at every level. How have previous clients or current clients that you guys are working in built buy-in with their team members from the leadership to the tactical level? I mean, have you seen any particular methodologies that have brought immediate success?
That's a really good question too. We've got a thing within iProv where once somebody's been with us for a year, we give them a canoe paddle that they can paint and design, and because it's this concept of we're all in the same boat and we all need to be rowing in the right direction, because we've all been in a canoe, or you've at least seen a canoe where there's two people rowing and one person rowing in the opposite direction is enough to just make that thing spin or just keep you still. So we're big believers in getting buy-in from every level of the organization, right? Whether you're the guy who cleans the floors all the way up to, the person that's making the big decisions in the corner office.
Yeah.
So where that starts is we always talk about a clearly articulated vision, making sure that everybody knows not only what the vision for the organization is, but what is the vision and what's the path for each level of the organization and each position in the organization, right? There's, the cheesy thing of walking in the corporate office with the core values up on the wall, but those are important too. Like, making sure that you've got the right people in the right seats in the right boat,
Yep.
And with those core values, but also making sure as a business owner, it's always scary to say, hey, here's how much money we want to be making in 3 years. And here's what our offices might look like. And here's how many people because there's always that imposter syndrome, right? That, oh, if I tell everybody this and we don't do it, everybody's going to think that our business is a failure. No, not if you've got the right people in there and that vision is clearly articulated,
Yeah.
So the question of how do you get buy-in from the team specifically? I always say make sure that everybody knows not only what the big picture for the organization is, but what the big picture for their individual role within that is, and what does it mean to them, right? For a smaller organization, it's a lot easier. For a larger organization that has hundreds of people, it's a little bit more difficult, but that's where you need to rely on your lieutenants to make sure that they've got a clear path for what success looks like at every level of the organization.
That's so true. I love the paddle. That is brilliant. I mean, it literally brings the metaphor to life.
Yeah.
And I actually had this analogy that, your organization's like the riverbed. So it's funny because to me, if you have no vision, no mission, your riverbed's dry. The paddle, the canoe is useless. Your team's going nowhere, or it's going to be a pain in the rear to climb out the riverbed. So
yeah. No, that's great. Whatever stage your business is in and whatever level of that business you are, dude, it's a lonely world out there. And there's no reason that you got to do it yourself or reinvent the wheel. I mean, find somebody who we talk all the time, you and I, about aligning core values, not only with employees, but clients and vendors and partners, and find a coach or a mentor that matches those core values that you have. Find somebody who is at the level of success that you want to be at. And you'd be surprised on just being vulnerable and reaching out and asking a question, just how helpful some of those people are in those stages of the organization. So my number one tip would be whatever you want to call it, right? Whether it's a consultant like Marie, or somebody that you look up to that's at the stage of an organization where you want to be in the next few years. Reach out and get an outsider's perspective on things. So that would be my suggestion is find a mentor or a coach, and then open yourself up and be coachable.
So thank you. Good deal. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jordan, for being with me today and joining me on the Direct Perspective.
Listen, this has been fun. If you're watching this and you haven't reached out to Marie, or it's been a little bit since you've talked to her, anybody in your organization, I'm serious. I would tell you to do it. I give everybody y'all's name, and again, going back to that, find a coach or mentor or just somebody outside of your organization that can offer a unique perspective on how to do things. You guys are killing it, and I would encourage everybody that's watching this to do the same. So
thanks so much, Jordan. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. All right. Hey, this has been great. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye, guys.